Can he fly?
That's a great question.
Any bird that can't fly is a really reputable bird.
Yeah, this is because it's like there's so much potential there.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you haven't been called to the principal's office, if you don't know what your principal's office looks like, you haven't been everywhere in your school.
I would start asking questions about people if they didn't know what the inside of the principal's office looks like. It's those eyes, I swear.
I was gonna say the nose. I mean, I'm from a different family. I have easier traits to identify.
We're kind of bouncing music off of each other, and not many people can handle the amount of music we have on the intake on a regular basis. So sure. I think that's one of the most regular things about our lives is that there's always music playing, and that there's because we'll sit there for hours and everybody will leave because they're just bored.
Yeah.
And but we're just getting started. still going on it. So I think that's kind of a strong trait of ours to be very hyper attentive and very obsessive about listening. I think that's probably the only thing that we're more obsessed with than playing is listening, because you charge up and you're like taking all this in, and all you want to do is get out there like, oh, I can do that, I can try that.
My biggest fear is the ability or losing the ability to play music or hear music,
pretty much it.
or I don't know. I mean, it definitely goes a lot further than that, but getting down to it, because that is kind of what makes us who we are, especially at this point in our lives. So it's like that is one of the greatest weights.
What about debatable fiction? Like maybe the Odyssey. Because we're not exactly sure if that happened or not. Like a character like Odysseus.
We all have a lot of heroes and they change, but one of the first times I realized something really cool about someone, and he's not even like a hero, he's just a personal hero, was Huck Finn.
Exactly, living the American dream.
Yeah, that was just so inspiring.
Letting your moral compass steer you right.
Yeah. I'm clean.
Well, I think we should move to the next question. Big Bird? Just based on size, I think.
Big Bird's a good one. He's a bird that... Can he fly?
That's a great question.
Any bird that can't fly is a really reputable bird.
Yeah, this is because it's like there's so much potential there.
Join a band. One time at a festival, I had to lie to get myself out of it because I probably could have gotten into some trouble. But I got bored and I had my golf clubs on tour, and I teed up a couple balls and hit them out into this open field. It was an airport. That was a lot of fun and very dumb.
I would cook it myself, and it would be...
Good start, though.
Probably a soup.
My last meal would be a pizza with primarily pineapple as the topping.
Maybe some jalapeno in there.
Some jalapeno for the spice. Lots of spices.
I wouldn't pick music. I wouldn't say I want to be an expert in music, because then that would be knowing too much. And there are some days I sit down, at the piano and go, I just know a little bit too much about what actual music is moving and like how things work. And I think it's really important to kind of like fumble through things like that in your life.
Yeah.
I would wish to be the most wonderful gardening expert.
Yeah, mine's kind of along those lines too. If I had to become an expert at something, it would be like how the truth to preserving our world, nature, those types of things, because everyone has their own approach, but what what is the right thing to do.
Right, and living off the land and, you know, being a little bit more truthful to who we are and what we are as human beings in the human race.
Man, we sound like hippies.
Yeah, we do. Try this, man. You know what? We actually saw it together. It was last Thursday. We went to the Rocket Man at the Greek Theater.
Mm-hmm. It was live, though.
Yeah,
it was cool.
It was live, yeah. So they played the movie. They played the entire movie with the live strings, the Hollywood Symphony Orchestra going. And at the end, Elton and Taryn came out. And actually,
Bernie
came out
too.
All the actors.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really cool experience. And I kind of feel that's kind of like how the movie probably was meant to be seen a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was pretty awesome that we were there, being that it was kind of this one-time thing.
Would I recommend it? Highly. Definitely. We'll start music related. We all greatly appreciate Fantasia.
Oh, Fantasia. Yeah, like watching Fantasia 2000. And it's just like, it had like Rhapsody in Blue.
Yeah.
Or like Night on Bald Mountain.
Yeah, that was one of the things that in band class, on the days that the instructor wasn't there, you'd just throw on a movie, you know, a relevant movie, and everyone would screw around in class. But I actually would move to the front because I found it very interesting the whole time.
You know what movie was ahead of its time? WALL-E.
Yeah.
WALL-E, you remember that?
Pixar.
All the humans have to leave the Earth. And they, you know, everybody's living on this rocket ship, and people are, you know, just super fat in their wheelchairs, and, you know, I think that was I think it didn't go over well because it was kind of a big, ugly, like, mirror to the face, like, hey, this is what the human race is maybe becoming. So
yeah.
So I don't know. I really like the politically racy ones, you know, the ones that kind of step into the bounds of being like, whoa, that's a little political. One time, Jake cut off the tip of my thumb. That is a true story.
The opposable thumb is important. When you don't realize how important it is until you injure it. And that was one of mine too. In 7th grade, I broke it on a trampoline, and that meant no guitar. That meant I couldn't hold a drumstick with the cast on, and that meant I couldn't play golf. I felt really depressed at the time because I couldn't do anything.
He's useless.
But it was my right thumb, and I write with my left hand, so I could still do school. Boy,
was
that a great compromise.
Yeah, stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
Love you all. Love you all. I love you all.
I'll drop in